All right. So today's topic, we are going to learn about date and time functions. Okay. Date and time functions. So when I say date and time, we have got date, time formulas. Now let's say date. So when I say date, what I've got is, let's consider I have got three different columns like day, month, and year. Now in this case, what I want is, I want all this day, month, and year information in a particular cell. Okay. For that, I need to use date function, right? Let's say equals to date. First, provide the year, comma, month, comma, day. By this way, we are going to get a date function. Now, when I double click on this corner of the particular cell with this plus icon, if I double click it, it automatically applies to the rest of records. Now, you see, we'll get systematically our date format into the place. Same here with an example we have of hour, months, and seconds. Okay. So let's say equals to time. Let's say hour, comma, minute, comma, second. Close the bracket, enter. Now I have got my time values into the phase. Now here, if you see in the numbers formatting, what we have got is, it is custom. Okay. It is under custom. Now, if I click on this, here we have got date first, then month, and then year. So right now it is into a date format. This is into form of time. We are seeing here in terms of time. If I click on this time, right, where it will showcase your seconds also. Previously it was AM and PM, right? But if you want to showcase the whole hour, minutes, and seconds, we'll use this time format, right? So this is the use of date function. Let me type it here to make it easy. Date equals to date, open bracket. What it is asking for us, that is year, month, and day. Same goes for time. Equals to, when you write time, it takes like hour, comma, minute, comma, second. So this is the syntax of it. Okay, so let's move ahead. So next we have got is date value. What does this date value means? It converts a text string when your format, right, when it is considering as text or a value, and we want to change it back to a date format. In that case, what we'll do is, we'll use date value. I'll just click on date value. Now you see, if you continue further, when I want a value of it, I can get the values of this particular date, right? For that, what we would require is, we would be requiring our text function also in this. As we have learned into the text functions, using the text, which it gives the format to use it. All right. So let's see how to create it. So let's say here, I'll add the column over here. So I'll write it as like date value. So what is the syntax of it? Equals to date value. So see what it does, converts a date in the form of converts a date in the form of text to a number that represents the date in a Microsoft Excel date time code. So here the code would be the format what we would require, a date text. If I provide this and press enter, will not get the result. So in this case, what I need to do is I need to apply a text function so that it will take appropriate format. So let's say text. I have to provide the value. Let's say D3 is the value, comma. It is asking for format. So anything, as we know, whatever we have to give in a form of string, we are going to give in a form of like right within the quotes. So let's say DD. If I say slash slash y. So what does it means? DD here refers to the date, is your month, and YY goes for your year. Now, here if you see, we have got our results in the place. Okay. So the same way, if you see with this examples with that file, what I have created is, you'll get your answers over here. Now what I have applied is, I have applied the date, got E3, MDD, YY. The same format. Okay. So the same thing we can apply it for the time value. Now, if I make it as like equals to time value, time text, time text, SJ3, enter. So here also we would be requiring with the help of, if you see this, while practicing, you can just check what is applied here already, so that while practicing, you'll get a complete idea how it is going to work. So if you use like same like concatenate, if you see, and ampersand here, and making use of and applying the time format with the colon over here. Okay, so you can get your time in this presence also, and with the help of time value also. If E5, so here you're going to convert that into a time value format with the help of time value function. Equals to time value and time text. Right now, if let's say it is in a form of journal. Now it is time. If I make it general, so this is what you're going to find it in general. But to make it an appropriate from value to the time, we are going to use the time. From here also, we can make use of it. Right click, go to the format cells. Under format cells, you'll find this option which you want to choose it. Let's say I want to choose like, showing AM and PM to it. So it converts that into AM and PM. Same way, it applies to all, whether you want to show it in AM or PM. If I make it 13, and if I apply here the same time formula now, let's say like 13, minute, second. See, I'll get now 1:51 PM. If I double do this, yes, if you see the PMs here, anything which is more than 12, yeah, more than 11:59, you are going to see into PM. All right, so let's move ahead. Now what we have got is, if you want to have the current date and time, so we have got the functions called now for current date and time today, it only returns only date. Like for example, let's say today's date. I want to display here with the date and time, right? If I apply now, so today's date and time is reflecting here. If I apply with today formula, so if I say equals to today, so it gives the result only as a date, today's current date, current day. Here current date and time. So for this, what we are formula we are using is now. We are using now, and here we are using today. This is for now, the result what you are getting, and this is for today. The next is the opposite part of this date and time. In this, we have seen different columns to get the results, but here, let's see how to extract the components of a date. So what are the components of the date would be your day, month, and year. Let's say these are the dates what we have, and we want to create it separately. What does it means? Let's see. Okay. So Alt E S V. Okay. Now you see, these are the date values we have got. Why? Because when I have tried to paste as a values, I'm getting the values of it, right? If I want this convert into a date, what I can do is, so I'm going to click this and I'm going to convert this into a short date. So I'll get my short date. If I go with the long date, I'll get my long date from this particular option. Okay. So if I make date from here, now let's come back to the day function. Okay. Let's say here I want a day. Here I would require a month in a separate column and year from a separate column. Okay. Now let's say this is our date. Now I want this column to be used as day. It has to fetch or extract the component, month component into this cell and year component in this particular cell. So it's very simple. Just type day when you want day, just provide the serial number, done. So 25th is the date here. So we have got in separate column, same equals to month, give the serial number and enter. And then year, just type year and serial number. So this is how I'm going to get my results. Enter. So it will be getting apart. This is what we are seeing here in day, month, and year. Same goes with your week number. So what do you mean by week number? Returns an integer representing the week number from 1 to 53 of the year from a user supplied date. So if I continue with this date, which is a supplied date, let's consider this column as a supplied date. And here, what I want is a week number. So I'll type week number at the top equals to, if I type week number and provide the serial number. Okay, I'll just provide the serial number, not the return type. See, let's see what result we are going to get. So we are going to get the result as 43. What does it means? The week number of this particular date is in whole year. So it is falling under 43 week number. So this formula helps us to understand this particular date falls under which week. Okay. The same thing, if you go through the file, if you see returns an integer represents the week number from 1 to 53 weeks of the year from a user supplied date. So here we are getting a results of this particular date. This particular date's week number is 43. The same way, we can have it for weekday. All right. So let's see what was the weekday for this particular 25/10/1924. What was the weekday? If I type it as like weekday at the top, just to make it understand. Okay, serial number is this. And if I close this, see, it is giving result as 7. What do you mean by 7 is the weekday, like from the day would be starting from the week would be starting from Monday. If you're considering this as Monday and Monday to Sunday. So let's say Monday was the first day of the week and Sunday will be your last day of the week. So 777. Okay. So here we are getting the results. What if you want in our own format? In that case, what you can do is you can use the type also. Like let's say week, day, again, I am doing the same thing. I am following the same thing here. Now what I'm getting is C, written type. Written type means where numbers, what I was talking about, like number 1. If I type it 1 here, what does it means? 1 means we are considering it as like Sunday as the start of this week through Saturday as the end of the week. So it depends upon your situations and scenarios, what exactly and how it follows, right? According to your work. So let's say if I go with 2, what happens here? We are considering Monday as the first day and the end of the week is Sunday. So I, instead of 1, I can make it as 2. And let's close the bracket and see. So I'm getting the answer is as a 6. See the difference over here. As I have not supplied the written type, and here I have supplied the serial type as 2, written type as 2. So 2 refers to considering first day of the week as Monday and last day as Sunday. Okay. So let's see. 6 belongs to like when you say Monday, your Saturday, this particular date should be a day should be which day? Saturday. Let's see if it is working as what we are applying for. Okay. Saturday. How? Let's go to the calendar. Let's provide the year. So we are talking about 1924. All right. So the month is October and the date is 25. See, it is falling under Saturday. 25th 10th 1924 was Saturday, and that is why we have got the result as 6. Got it? Right? The same way you can apply it for across. If you want to cross check, you can cross check one more date just to clarify that what we have applied is correct as per our requirement. So I'll click here again. I'll go to 1970. 1970. May month. 2nd of May of 1970 is Saturday. So I've got the result as 6. This is how we use. This is weekday without applying the serial type, and this is weekday with the serial type. All right. So this is how it is going to work when you talk about a day, month, year, week number, weekday, and supplied with the right written type. Okay. So this is the formulas of your extracting the components of it. Okay. So I want you guys to practice this today. Right. So what we have left out is with year, e date, e month, work day. So this is more helpful for performing the calculations with the dates. In that case, you're going to use this formula. So when I talk about e-date, right, returns a date that is specified number of months before or after an initial supply start date. Let's take a scenario over here. So I've got the data where I'm saying I have got my start date and I have got my end date. This is start date. Let's say this is of particular project you're working for. You have got a start date and an end date. Now exactly you want to know how many days, right, we have got to complete this project. Just for an example. So let's say it's starting with 3rd of April and ending with 3rd of September